Good evening. Look out over any urban park, agricultural field, or remote coastline, and you'll see them. The charcoal shadow, the cunning observer, the often feared carrion crow. Tonight, we are delving into the full, comprehensive history of this indispensable avian genius, the carrion crow, Corvus corone. This creature is not just an efficient scavenger. It is a creature that has been a philosopher, a harbinger of mythology, a marvel of neurological engineering, and the very foundation of avian intelligence for millennia. We will trace its journey from the primeval forests of Eurasia to its contemporary status as a master of both problem-solving and urban domination, detailing the facts, the fascinating cognition, and the enduring scientific conjectures that surround this quiet, black icon. The wild ancestral crow is a creature of immense cognitive adaptability. Its lineage belongs to the genus Corvus, the apex of avian evolution. Its native range is vast, spreading across western and central Eurasia. They chose woodland edges, open heaths, and riparian zones, because these provided a perfect blend of high vantage points for vigilance, open space for flight, and diverse, year-round foraging opportunities. This preference for transition zones between different habitats is the key to understanding its total subordination to consign-anthropic life. The crow simply follows us to the transition zone of the city edge. The crow we see today is a resilient, robust, and geographically widespread population. These birds exhibit behavioral plasticity and neophilic curiosity. They are hardwired to investigate novel situations rather than flee them. They simply recognize that our telephone poles, tall buildings, and refuse bins are perfect anthropogenic cliffs and megacaches. A city street offers the same diverse, reliable resource pulses and security as a mixed woodland and scrubland. Their intellectual fidelity to complex, changing environments minimizes predation risk and allows them to perform essential biological functions, mimicking the rich safety of their ancestral ranges. The Corvus genus originally comprised numerous intelligent species, but Corvus corone is defined by a fascinating genetic boundary. The species is classically divided into two distinct forms: the old black carrion crow, C. corone of Western Europe, and the grey and black hooded crow, C. corone cornix, of Eastern Europe and Scandinavia. Crucially, where these two forms meet, they form a hybridization zone, a narrow geographical band where they interbreed. Due to this unique, ongoing genetic flow, true genetically isolated populations of the carrion crow are a rarity, making the species a living laboratory for studying speciation and evolutionary pressure. Conservation efforts are now focused not on protection, but on understanding the dynamics of this vast hybrid population, which holds the original, magnificent template of avian adaptation. The crow is primarily an omnivore, a consumer of everything from carrion and eggs to seeds and fruits. However, its digestive system is uniquely designed for rapid, opportunistic processing. This adaptability is amplified by its massive strength and specialized anatomy, including its powerful beak capable of cracking large nuts. This allows it to exploit resources that are inaccessible to smaller or less intelligent birds. Its capacity to utilize human infrastructure for food processing, for example, dropping hard-shelled nuts into traffic and waiting for cars to crack them, is another advantage, allowing it to sustain the incredible brain-to-body mass ratio required for advanced cognition. This efficient use of all available resources is what allowed crows to thrive in environments that would decimate specialist species. They are simply perfectly engineered to utilize the ecological niche created by human civilization. The history of the carrion crow in relation to humanity is one of coevolutionary intelligence, dating back to the Mesolithic period. Early human camps in the transition from nomadic hunting to settled agriculture were struggling to secure food while processing waste. They needed an undeniable living resource that could not only clean up refuse, but also provide an accurate, constant signal of environmental change. They found their answer in the omnivorous corvid. Their modification was not through selection by us, but through co-adaptation with us. Throughout the following millennia, the crow's genetic traits were selected by the difficulty of living alongside the ultimate predator, humanity. They aimed for two main outcomes: enhanced problem-solving capacity for accessing human food stores, and long-term memory for recognizing and avoiding dangerous humans. In the very structure of the crow's engagement with us, the animal dedicates significant space, using it to introduce the concept of natural selection for intelligence. We argue that if the sheer pressure of human presence, acting with conscious and unconscious challenges over just a few thousand years, could produce such staggering cognitive depth, speed of learning, and social structure, then the evolutionary selection pressure, fueled by necessity, was infinitely powerful and creative. The sheer intellectual utility available in the crow's brain provided the most reliable pathway to survival alongside a dominant species. Let us examine three main categories of cognitive traits selected for, reflecting the price of intelligence. The brain sustenance. The crow possesses an exceptionally dense Jovian pallium, the forebrain structure homologous to the mammalian cerebral cortex. This density allows for complex information processing. The crow sacrifices the lightweight, specialized structures of most birds for a larger, energetically expensive brain. The ability to perform metacognition, thinking about thinking, is a necessity for their survival, ensuring they can plan, predict, and execute multi-step solutions to problems. Defense learning. The wild crow is agile, but its primary defense is aversion learning. Rather than relying on physical strength, like the bear, or flight, like the pigeon, the crow relies on recognizing and actively mobbing threats. The selection for long-term episodic memory, the ability to remember who did what, where and when, is an aesthetic and safety trait purely for avoiding persecution. These memory functions would be immediately selected against in less demanding environments due to their immense caloric cost. Social performance. The typical social unit of a murder is genetically enhanced for collective problem-solving and defense. A single carrion crow separated from its group is capable, but far less efficient at foraging and predator detection. This singular focus on reciprocal altruism, where birds share information and protect each other, makes them formidable. Human needs weaponized a natural social intelligence, turning the crow into a complex, self-protecting bioeconomic unit. The crow's most convincing evidence of its biological genius lies in its capacity for tool manufacture. This complex process is the true engine of their reputation. Though most easily observed in their relatives, the New Caledonian crow, carrion crows, also demonstrate remarkable ingenuity. They are capable of modifying natural objects, twigs, thorns, wire, to create hooks and probes. This proves that their cognitive timing is not set by instinct. It is instead governed by a massive, predictive ability for causal understanding and forward planning. The key to their survival is the production of ingenious solutions to novel problems, a behavioral process that has no true parallel in most birds. It is induced by the constant pressure of resource scarcity or inaccessibility. The crow performs behavioral innovation, where it attempts multiple, non-standard approaches to a locked or hidden food source until a solution is found. The resulting cognitive efficiency is a product of social learning. Young crows watch and imitate older successful individuals to learn complex techniques, such as how to open specific packaging or how to avoid electric fences. This means a new, successful technique can spread through a local population quickly, allowing them to adapt to new human infrastructure immediately. The production of this sustained intelligence requires a delicate biological balance. The crow's body must constantly fuel its large brain, necessitating a high-energy, protein-rich diet. The intensity of this process is governed by the crow's environmental complexity. This ingenious self-sustaining process ensures the crow efficiently converts urban waste into advanced cognition, a unique intellectual marvel. The process is carefully controlled. Young crows remain dependent on their parents for many months after fledging, often moving into a family group to learn the territory and the rules of social interaction. This finely tuned nutritional and intellectual transition from a helpless nestling to a hyper-intelligent forager is what allowed crows to maximize their use of human-dominated landscapes. The inherent social cohesion and memory of Corvus corone was respected and feared by every culture across Eurasia for millennia. They were the primary means of economic protection, cleaning up fields, and prediction. Early examples include their role in early Norse mythology, as the eyes and ears of Odin, Hugin, and Munin, their integration into Celtic belief, where the crow was the avatar of the war goddess, the Merrigan, and their integration into many creation myths. The use of the crow as a signal defined the difference between safe and dangerous territory throughout the ancient and medieval worlds. The international importance of this bird shaped folklore, fueled the creation of omens, and formed the basis of respect for birds in many indigenous cultures. The modern field of cognitive ethology is a highly technical, multi-million-dollar international industry. Champion crows, possessing a potent blend of genetics, rigorous training, and impeccable problem-solving skills, are treated as elite subjects of research and conservation. The crow's success relies entirely on manipulating its innate curiosity and its powerful observational memory. Researchers, through complex experiments, demonstrate total control over the bird's ability to use sequential logic and planning to achieve a goal. Crow survival relies heavily on complex social conditioning and a specific method called facial recognition. This is not a human trait. Studies using controlled capture and release scenarios have demonstrated that crows possess long-term memory for human faces, allowing them to recognize and differentiate between dozens of individual humans, even those wearing disguises. This creates an intense, powerful social memory, ensuring they follow the correct warnings and stay in the correct safe zones, which is essential for managing large-scale territories. This learning is then passed down to young birds through cultural transmission. This creates an intense, powerful social memory, ensuring they follow the correct warnings and stay in the correct safe zones, which is essential for managing large-scale territories. The competitive, high-stakes nature of modern ecology has mandated the integration of advanced technologies. Modern flocks are tracked using GPS microtags and advanced acoustic monitoring, ensuring accuracy to meters. Furthermore, the species must contend with disease pressure. There is increasing evidence that urban environments, altered food quality, and population density increase vulnerability to diseases like West Nile virus, leading to high mortality. Organizations like the USGs are now attempting to implement strict monitoring measures, using DNA data to maintain the integrity of the population and the health of the species. During times of food scarcity, the crow's ingenuity is challenged. It survives by using its unique problem-solving capabilities. Its spatial memory allows it to remember thousands of individual cache locations, ensuring a reliable source of banked food. This practice, known as deferred consumption, cemented the crow's role as the single most powerful symbol of cautious intelligence and efficient survival in harsh, changing landscapes. The crow's sensory system is an astonishing, layered blend of internal knowledge and social awareness, often referred to as a social and visual system. This system is not a single sense, but a highly redundant backup network. The compass direction uses the sun's position, requiring a precise internal clock, and landmarks, tall buildings, river valleys. This sensory data tells the crow the busy street market is this way. The map, location. This is the system that tells the crow safe nesting is near the large oak tree. The leading conjecture for this map remains the visual categorization hypothesis, where the crow uses specific, memorable visual cues and patterns, e.g., the shape of a particular chimney, the arrangement of power lines, to locate its position and maintain territorial boundaries. The social compass is not fully understood, but two primary mechanisms are theorized: the extreme acuity of their binocular vision, superior to many other birds, necessary for accurate object manipulation, and the complex behavior of alarm calls, a sharp, repeated caw, caw, caw. This theory suggests that the crow can literally sense the status of the entire flock at a sound, which explains why they coordinate complex defense maneuvers, like mobbing behavior, near instantaneously in response to a raptor threat. Beyond navigation, crows have demonstrated cognitive abilities that challenge the primacy of mammalian intelligence. The classic test involves the crow funeral. Researchers have successfully demonstrated that when a crow dies, other crows gather, loudly vocalizing, and often investigate the body. Crucially, they then remember the location of the event and actively avoid it for weeks. This suggests a capacity for risk assessment and the ability to link a social event to a potentially dangerous location, a major finding that fundamentally changed how we view social intelligence in non-primates. Crows exhibit advanced theory of mind in resource competition, demonstrating they understand what other individuals can see and will intentionally hide cached food from an observer. Most remarkably, they can learn and apply sequential logic over immense periods, remembering the exact steps needed to activate a multi-stage machine to access food, confirming a level of problem-solving that contradicts historical stereotypes. They are capable of categorization, distinguishing between human faces, and even rudimentary tool use, all skills that suggest a highly sophisticated cognitive system tailored for group survival in a human world. The large cohesive flock is a strategy for survival known as the information center. While a flock is easier to spot, it dramatically amplifies the collective knowledge base. Information about the location of a new food source, a nesting threat, or a dangerous human is shared instantly and reinforced. The individual crow's best survival strategy is to constantly maneuver to remain in the safer, less exposed interior of the group while actively contributing to and receiving from the collective knowledge. Within the family unit, there is a clear dominance hierarchy, established through aerial chases, aggressive posturing, and resource control. Dominant crows gain priority access to the best foraging and resting spots, ensuring the most fit individuals gain energy and are better able to reproduce. Crows also display impressive social justice. They have been observed actively punishing other crows that break social rules, e.g. stealing food from a family member, demonstrating complex internal moral policing in their environment. The iconic constant caw motion is not just a quirky habit, it's a profound communication necessity. The crow performs a shout and listen cycle. The head and neck are thrust forward while the animal emits its loud, resonant call, minimizing acoustic damping. The calls are immediately followed by a period of silence where the crow listens for a response. This intermittent vocalization is a necessity because it allows the crow to maximize the use of its specialized auditory system to maintain contact across vast, noisy territories. The loud caw is the primary form of non-visual communication. The sharp, high-pitched distress call is used to signal immediate danger, and the low, repeated assembly call is used to gather the flock or family group. Beyond vocalizations, they use subtle communication cues. The powerful visual display of wing shivering and tail flicking creates a specific, loud, visual marker, which is used as a social status identifier to alert the rest of the species to the general status and intent of the group. The recent proliferation of human surveillance and noise pollution in urban environments has triggered a behavioral shift in crows. They are observed using more complex, multi-layered flight paths and communicating with lower frequency calls, demonstrating complex, near instantaneous coordination to evade detection. The sheer discretion and agility of these movements, the result of millennia of dealing with the ultimate predator, humanity, is a testament to their deep evolutionary programming. The legacy of the crow in human culture remains one of the most heroic and complex chapters of the Corvus corone story. It has been revered as a symbol of prophecy, magic, and cunning. Its role as the spiritual messenger of gods and goddesses cemented its position in ancient myths. In the modern era, the animal's image was heavily politicized. It became the global symbol of cognitive science, solidifying the crow's status as a fundamental partner in the study of animal intelligence. The negative modern epithet vandal or thief is a product of misunderstanding its highly specialized intelligence, not a factual reflection of the crow's danger. The risk is largely based on the human perspective of an animal that prioritizes resource acquisition over human property rights. The main human issues, stealing shiny objects, tearing open bins, are overwhelmingly contracted only by individuals who exploit human carelessness. Casual avoidance of their nesting zones presents negligible risk to the general public. The fear is a social conjecture that far outweighs the scientific fact. The crow is far more likely to suffer from human management errors, poisoning, and traffic than it is to cause a serious harm. The term pest largely arose as agrarian society struggled with crop protection. The crow, a highly visible omnivore, became an easy target to blame for broader ecological issues that were actually caused by poor habitat control and monoculture farming. The perception endures, but the science does not support its exclusion from our ecosystem. It simply requires more careful stewardship and respect for its intellect. We have covered the full panorama of the Carrion Crow's life, from the fundamental physics of its highly dense brain and multi-layered social system to its critical role in the history of science and human mythology. It is a creature of ancient wisdom, biological genius, and profound resilience. This is an animal that deserves our respect, not our dismissal. It is a living, breathing testament to the power of adaptation, the persistence of life, and the enduring connection between humans and the intelligent natural world. The next time you see a crow, remember the philosopher, the cognitive factory, and the living legend, a constant companion on civilization's journey. Thank you.